Patty Solis Doyle, CNN political commentator, former Hillary Clinton campaign manager. Matt Schlapp, a former political director for George W. Bush, now chairman of the American Conservative Union.
Good morning.
Good to have you both. Matt, when you look at this, the concern would be within the GOP that you, as a party, have been pushing that things are wrong, you should be mad about it, and now Donald Trump has taken that mantle and is turning it back on the party to a certain extent. Do you agree, and if so, what's the remedy?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I mean, there is no question that there's a angst out there in the country. Obama has brought a lot of change to the country, and quite frankly, Republicans and conservatives don't like it, they're threatened by it, and they want to stop it. Donald Trump has stepped up and seized the moment. Quite frankly, I think it's refreshing. I think it's good for our party. I think it's good to have a candidate that reaches beyond our normal coalition. He doesn't talk like a politician. He and Carly Fiorina and Ben Carson, they've never had elected office, never held elected office. And, you know, I think this is a great dynamic, and we're going to have to see how it plays out. But right now, I'm pretty happy about it.
He seems pretty happy about it. How about you, Patty? As a Democrat, I imagine you've got to love watching all of this sort of unfold within the GOP. Yet, when you look at that, 30% of people say the government in Washington represents your views well. Do you think the Democrats are paying attention to that poll and trying to figure out how they can speak to a growing number of people that are discontent in this country?
Well, look, as a Democrat, I'm definitely happy with Donald Trump and his performance because ultimately I don't think Donald Trump is electable. So I would love to see him as a Republican nominee. But what I think we're missing from Donald Trump is really the policy details. I mean, as I agree with Matt, he's great at, you know, bringing the problems, the issues that concern Americans, but the devil's in the details. He hasn't given us any policy, any ideas on how to solve
Patty, that's not the measure for him. Isn't that the kind of takeaway that we've figured out here? Doesn't matter what he says about POWs. His negative, put up the numbers of his negatives. His negatives are off the chart. How high they are about in terms of his unfavorables. It's built in to who he is. People aren't looking to him for answers. They're looking to him as the champion because they don't see anybody on your side with Hillary or even Bernie, although there's a little bit of promise for Bernie growing a little bit there against Hillary. But isn't that part of the problem here, Patty, is that you're not giving them anything? The measure of Trump is not whether or not he's got the answers.
I agree with you, but take it back to the Democratic side. Hillary is giving answers. She's giving a huge, broad economic speech. She's giving a speech today on climate change and renewable energy. She's talked about immigration reforms, and she's following up with solid, specific ideas on how to solve these issues for the American people. And I think as the election goes on, Americans are going to stop and say, okay, who am I going to vote for? Am I going to vote for someone with these very bombastic remarks, or am I going to vote for someone?
But she represents what's fueling Trump. The untrustworthiness, the sneaky email allegations, all those things. Matt, speak to that.
Look, you said that Trump has sky-high negatives. You know who the other person who's in that neighborhood? Hillary Clinton. And the fact is that they can try to dismiss Donald Trump over those numbers. He shouldn't be giving us all the detailed policy now. That's the next step.
Matt, so you're fair point. That's the next step.
That's right.
Past the bombastic, which we know he excels at, do we know that he has the devil in those details? We talk about the devil in the details. We don't know that, and that's why I.
He just said no.
No.
Well,
so,
hold on.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Wait. We don't know, and this is the great process of running for president. We're going to find out what he thinks about these issues. He's going to have plans. You're not going to pass muster with the voters unless you give them policy details, and that's what this whole conversation is going to be about in the Republican Party. But look at Hillary Clinton. The more details she gives and the more people see of her, the less they like her, and the more Bernie Sanders surges in these polls.
Less is more, you're saying.
With her, less is more.
But also, it's what he speaks to. Look, I just got a tweet while we're having this conversation. We're sick of the lying, cheating, thieving, do-nothing career politician. That's the message they all better get. Listen to what Donald Trump just said about Hillary Clinton.
With Hillary, I think I'll beat Hillary easily. I think I will beat Hillary. I don't think these other guys will. What she's done is criminal. I mean, what she has done is criminal. What she did is far worse than what General Petraeus did, and he's gone down in disgrace. I mean, you know, what he did is not as bad as what Hillary Clinton did, and it's similar, but it's not as bad. I mean, she got rid of her server. He never did anything like that.
Obviously, the Petraeus reference there is to classified material. You know, her trustworthy numbers, as you know, Patty, have been taking a beating. Is that one issue enough to beat her?
Well, look, I think she started sky high when she was Secretary of State, so it's only natural that some of these numbers go down for her. But look, she has said, first of all, let's talk about Donald Trump. He says it's criminal. We now know it's not criminal. It's not a criminal investigation. So let's get that out there first and foremost. Secondly, she has given over 55,000 pages of emails. She has said repeatedly that when they were sent and received, none of them were marked as classified. She's going to testify in front of the Benghazi Committee in October. I think she's answering all the questions. And again, it's still early. And as we go on, I think voters are smart enough to know, and I want to go back to the details, are they going to elect someone who can actually solve our concerns and can give us some ideas about the issues that concern Americans, like education and the economy, or are they going to go with someone who just has bombastic, caustic, headline-grabbing remarks and
Patty,
no ideas?
We have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us, Patty Solis-Doyle, Matt Schlapp. Great to have you on New Day.
Thank you, guys.